encourage you to write any questions you want us to discuss on the roundtable, because right now we got a bunch, I think, we can discuss. So, yeah, with no further ado, I want to give stage to Артем Сычев, who will teach us how to learn. Yeah. Round of applause! Yay!
Hi guys, my name is Artem, and I already tweeted this slide with KyivJS hashtag. So you can find them on GitHub by KyivJS hashtag, and you're welcome to contribute, to look, to use them.
How about your microphone?
Huh?
Microphone is not on.
Now?
No.
No.
Come on. Yeah, no. Okay? It's okay?
Yep.
Okay, so let's relax a little bit and talk about learning. I will not have difficult slides with a lot of code and so forth, but I'll still need your attention. And the topic is pretty interesting. You are very welcome to interrupt me during the whole conversation. Just raise your hands up. Oh, raise your hands up and ask your questions. Yes, you guess it. You know it. Remember, there is no dumb questions. So ask any questions that you have. And yes, for the question, you get a Snickers.
So, lunchtime is starting now.
Yeah, a little bit. What's the question?
I want to try how it works.
How it works, yes. That's my question. Yeah.
That was not a question.
That
was not a question.
Yeah. It's not a question, right? So, let's talk about IT. So started about 1950. Let's not talk about ADA and all the stuff. First computer was invented in 1950, so we count it like in 1950 it was started, right? And since then, who knows how many languages do we have? Yes.
Do you know if you make mistake?
I made a mistake. Where? Here?
Yeah.
Why?
Because first computer invented not in 1950s. I thought it begins a little bit earlier.
Okay, and you
Second World War.
Second World War and
One
who?
machine.
Enigma. Yes. Okay.
Touch Enigma. Touch invented one device which.
It was mechanical one, right? First electronical one. It's good. That's good point. Yeah. How many languages do we have since then? Like, anybody know? I know this you guys know, but six.
One.
That's cool. Be closer. I'll give a Snickers. It's right. How?
A lot.
No, it's not small.
A lot is not a number. We need the
50,000, 3,000.
More suggestions. 3,000. That's all?
No, there was 1,000. Well, 1,000.
300,000.
300,000. Yeah.
No, it's not. Who said 1,000?
Someone over there.
Yes!
God.
So I, as usual developers do, I went to Google and I Googled it, and Wiki show us a list of languages, so you can go and try it. It's really a list, but nobody wants to count it. It's about 8,500. I really don't want to count how many IDs, how many I don't know, the technologies, frameworks, and all the other stuff we have. So we just see the progress in these 65 years, maybe more. We see a huge progress in it, right? And let's talk about learning. As you see, it started a little bit earlier than I just a little bit. And as usually, I went to Google and Googled it, and Wikipedia showed me nothing. Like, she don't know about learning methods. She don't know about learning techniques. The only thing that I found was study skills. I started to read it, and I understand that it's based on articles that's 50 or like 65 years old. So there's IT basically, and like nothing going on there. Like really, we don't improve ourselves. Like I don't believe in it. And I thought, if it's so bad in the world, how it's in Ukraine, how it's in post-Soviet countries. I was unlucky, guys, so during 2001-2007 I learned in National Pedagogical University and studied psychology there. And who knows this guy? You? Really? How? What do you know about him? Nothing?
He's the teacher.
Famous teacher, right?
He was the guy who has not children, but say how we must teach
We must teach them, yeah. And like the main boss for me is in charge of correctional facility, working in head office on NKVD from 1935, and we're still learning a lot about his techniques that he provides in universities, and I bet that they still are learning these techniques now. Can you imagine? It's like, I'm happy that he died in 4 years after he was made in charge of them, but it's not a progress. It's what we are learning still, and I bet that your kids will, your teachers that taught your kids will use this methodologies too. So I agree here with Barbara. To change something in educational system, in learning system, we need to get pressure on universities, get pressures on schools and so forth, because they will not change themselves. The progress is too slow then. Yes. Yes, exactly. For example, who here has master, baccalaureate, or how it's called, specialist degree here? Raise your hand up, please. So you studied about 16 years, 15, 18, about 16 years, right? And who had a course about learning? 2, 3 hands. About 3, it's good enough, I mean. Huh? More, 4 people from all of it. Because basically we learning for 16 years, but nobody tell us how to learn, what to use, how to do it. And why I think it's really important, because a lot of the students still highlighting texts in the books, and they don't know that making notes on the fields is a lot more effective. Still a lot of students rereading their notes or rereading books when they prepare to exams, but it creates only illusion of confidence. You are not extracting your data from your memory, you are not remembering it better. Okay, let's talk about pain now. You understand what I mean? Yes. One of the main techniques that you can use in your life is stop to procrastinate and go to action. And why it's so difficult sometimes? Why we can't stop to do it? Because when you think about some topic that's rather complicated, that you don't want to start, you actually activate the part in your brain that responds from pain. So you almost feel pain, and your brain automatically tries to escape this situation. So we're going to do something more enjoyable. Browse Facebook, go on YouTube, do anything, but not to start doing the task. And it's how its nature works. One of the best ways how to resolve it is just switch to implementation, just switch to making what you need to do. And then it's no longer associated with the pain part in your brain. Pomodoro technique is a great example of it. You can use it, you can not use it, you can just switch to the task. But just try it one more time. I know that a lot of you know about this technique. I know. Focus on the diffuse mode of thinking. It's a great example of the technique, how you can use it. It's you focus on some task and can resolve it. You go for a walk for 15 minutes. You go to do some mechanical work. And the idea comes in your mind by itself. And believe me, a lot of great scientists use it. Don't forget about sleeping, because your brain needs to recover. You need to recover all the system, and it's pretty complicated. If you have not enough sleep, it's yes, and chunking. Oh, sorry. I bet you all know about it. Because we are programmers, we separate big tasks in the smallest one and implement it one by one, but still think about it when you're learning too. Illusion of competence in mini testing, we already talked about it a little bit, but what's really checking if you know something is when you test yourself, when you try to make a small test, how good you are in it, how you remember it. And don't forget about value of mistakes. It's important to do them because someday, like you sitting with this block like for 2 hours, and then you figure out that it was just some curly braces that you forget to put, and you will never forget it. And again, it's about procrastination. Don't forget it because it's your main enemy. That's why I put it second time on the slides. And you should know, I think, how long-term and short-term memory works. That if you repeat a couple of times, but not in one day, some material, you will remember it. It's how you actually putting it from short-term memory to long-term memory. And also create a visual metaphor can help you to remember something better. Hints for tests, mini testing, but I will not tell you about this because it will take us like a couple hours more. So I will give you links to all these materials and you can browse it yourself. So let's talk about something interesting. Let's talk about drugs. Why it's hard to learn when you are not interested in it, and why it's so easy and you remember it so nicely when you're really interested in it. Yes, the main question is that we have a widely projected system of dopamine neurons in our brain that play a big part of remembering and motivation. Also, couple more neuron modulators that influence on how you learn: serotonin, dopamine, and acetylcholine. As you can see from the slides, they are pretty popular nowadays. we are mostly interested in that one under the blue, but we are also interested in all of them too. Because, for example, acetylcholine, when you're trying to pay attention to something, it's coming to play. Serotonin, pretty popular nowadays. I bet somebody knows about it. What? Sleeping? No, not right.
Happiness.
Happiness.
Joy.
Yeah, let's get it. It's not only joy. Yeah, people with lack of serotonin, they have a depression actually, and they get Prozac to get out of it, and it's now pretty popular in the United States. But it's not only depression. People that are in jail for violent crime are usually the lowest level of serotonin.
I think the problem is they have not enough amount of sun, because we need sun for making serotonin.
No, you get my idea is people for violent crime in jail have the lowest level of serotonin in society. And you think the reason is why
in our prison or in USA prison?
So you think it makes a difference between our and USA prison if they have...
I don't have experience, but
in US they prison, yeah, you're right. But because in our prison nobody cares about them and what level of certainty they have. I'm sure about it. They just don't care. Okay, but it influences on your emotions and actually how you behave in a group. Main dopamine. It's great discovery during my lifetime that this particular neuron responds to our motivation. So yeah, you can also read about it on Wiki. And what is important that with the dopamine, it motivates us, and when we can wait for a reward for some time if we know that we get it after the task, the hard task that we implemented. And also why it's important, because actually when we use drugs we get a dopamine, and when we get unexpected rewards we get dopamine increase in our brain too. So it's important. Why it's important with dopamine? Because this way we can explain our brains that we will get reward afterwards and work with a huge task. Also amygdala. So I'm talking now about our emotion. The recent studies proved that our emotion influence on how we study a lot. Because previously they all thought that it's not matter in what mood you are. It's actually play a really big role. So as for me, yeah, the obvious conclusion, we are all addicted here. And I don't know about you guys, what you planning to do with it, but I want more. Yeah, and I'll give you some. Yes. So, how you can get more, basically. I encourage you to learn in groups, because they stimulate you not only by emotion, but they also check your knowledges. You can be a star there. You can discuss the topics that you want. You can check all other variation of resolving the same task, not by trying to implement it multiple times, but see how other people implement it and so forth. And one of the ways to do it is being involved in the community, being involved in meetup, conferences, courses. As for me, for example, conferences give me a lot of pleasure and a lot of motivation, because I see so many minds that are interested in the same topics that I'm involved in, and that are really motivated, that love what they're doing, and so forth.
I'm sorry, do you think a lot of courses in IT it's good? Nowadays it's horrible things, because everybody who learn one book start make courses.
Yeah, it can be a problem when they are not professional, right?
Yes.
But it resolves, when students start to learn with other in community, even when the teacher is bad, they still communicate, and they still make some progress. I agree with you that maybe unprofessional teachers, it's really bad, and we should do something with that. But I don't know. Usually you get pretty. Then it was one last question.
What was your recommended areas of self-studies, self-investigations, summarizing your
What do you mean? Areas of self-studies?
What areas could be deepened by ourselves? Like you just gave some ideas, shared some ideas, but what could be investigated more deeply by ourselves?
Okay, I posted to Twitter. There is a link at the end. I encourage you to read the book about learning and to know more how you can learn more effectively for yourself, to figure it out. And then what to learn? Actually, this guy talked in his talk hype. If you're asking about programming, it's anti-hype. Oh, anti-hype. Okay, on KyivJS. So he suggested what language to learn, why, and explain like a big talk for like half an hour or more. Yes, and he explained why he still knows Java. And don't forget it.
Okay,
So you will find it there. I think his speech is great.
one more big question. Can you pretend that you are Oracle, like for future in the time, and see what the new trends will appear from prism of your speech, of your subject? What new technologies, what new things we will see? Like
I mean,
10 years,
what's new technologies in
years,
learning?
etc.
Oh, it's hard to produce
Yeah.
new technologies. I think they will find out some new drugs. And yeah, it's already, as you know, they like they checking it for chess players, and math guys use it too. So we will see, and they will explore more our brain how it actually works, how to make it maybe even more easier to learn something. Like moving in this direction. Questions? Stickers? Yeah, yes.
We all have to deal with really big amount of information.
Yes.
Such as the information in our brain. So maybe you know most effective way to deal with it.
I mean, yeah, I got it. You mean that we overload with information nowadays, and it's so much of it, and you need to figure out the way how to understand what is important for you and what is not, and to create your system to work with it. Yes, I think there is a couple of ways. First, and it's described in this link that I gave after at the end. First is to make a list for you what to do next day, and a list for a week that you should actually do. And start with this list, like eat the frog. Maybe you heard about this technique. So make the most difficult task in the morning, and then all other tasks. And then you will basically structure what is more important for you and do first what's more important for you in the morning when your brain is still in the best condition. It's one of the like two good techniques, and most of them you can find in this course. So think about it. Yeah, it's a great question.
So
yes,
my question is about the last thing that you mentioned. I want to ask about vitamins. So the example for really helpful for programmers. Like vitamins that they can find not in some medicines.
Not from this device, yes.
Yes, but vitamins that we can buy in a simple supermarket in some
I got it. Eat more nuts, definitely. Don't forget nuts, but nuts, or nuts. And for your brain activity, I don't think that I don't think that vitamins is more important. More important is your motivation, which is how to keep yourself in a good mood. And for all of this, you need to be healthy, feel yourself good, and so forth. So it's basically all conditioned, not only for your brain. I encourage you to think about yourself as a whole system, as like one system.
So, not like doctors, they have early problems that sometimes they have head shaking. It's a problem, and they resolve it by buying in supermarkets magnesium. And do you have problems that sometimes programmers that spend at computer 12 hours per day, or so on, they have a problem with their minds and can't focus in some things?
Yes, Because it's not so good for your body to spend 12
The
hours.
question is about can you find something like progressive that resolves this problem?
No, I think with abusing your body and your mind, and with not making breaks for yourself, with some drugs or some pills, you will not get the good result. You need to think about what will be with you in 5 years if you do that. Because you are not only using your mind. Don't forget about your spine. Don't forget about whole body that needs some air, needs some sun, and so forth. Like abusing it and trying to use some pills, some drugs will not give you good results in long term. Yes, questions?
Any
There is one.
There is one.
Can I ask one? Can I get the sneakers for this question? And for quick about you. Thanks.
I would ask, how do you motivate yourself to move on, to learn some new, to do new things that you didn't do before, and how do you reward yourself, maybe?
Reward myself? Actually, you're promising yourself something after study. So I will finish this task and I'll go on body. I'll do. Second option, I'm one of the organizers of this process, so you should go there. Guys are waiting for you. You need to finish. You need to show that you are not the stupidest one in the room. Yeah, and it's motivating to keep moving. Still motivating.
Question about when you will start next course about JavaScript or Angular or something.
Spring, yes, I think Spring. Spring about its front end and Python and Angular. I think autumn and Ruby and maybe Ruby and JavaScript. I don't know, autumn too. I think autumn. Yeah.
That's it.
This was our last big talk for today. We have a break. It should be a lunch break, but the food is not here yet. It will come up at any given moment. So we'll start a break right now, and sometime in the middle of the break there will be food. So it all works out really well. After that we have, at this point, 4 lightning talks. One of the talks will be presented by Alexey Raspopov. Alexey doesn't feel very well, so he cannot give us a full talk today. But he will try to squeeze it into like 10-15 minutes. Don't give you like unnecessary details, give you the meat of the talk, right? And other talks are pretty interesting as well. We are waiting for Roman.
He's here.
He's here?
Yeah.
Oh! Oh! Give him a sneakers. So Roman will talk about what? Closure script. All right. And where's Paris? Paris?
He will not get it.
Okay, so we miss one of our lightning talk presenters, but who cares, right? I mean, we all care, but we still have a good lineup. One downside of this location is that we will not be able to get to Ayer after that by foot because it's way too far. But I think we will still have an after party there because it's a checked place for us. So if you're interested, tell us because we want to know how many people would be interested to be at after party. I think John has to leave early, but I will try to stay for as long as possible. And some guys from Kharkiv will stay till very late evening. Till then, right? They will be the last one to leave us. Kirill, would you give us lightning talk? No? No. That's pity. If you are interested in giving a talk, just sign up.
If you're interested in getting the sneakers or bounty, give us a light talk.
Yeah, asking questions is easy, giving lightning talk is hard, but that means that the sneakers would be a lot more delicious afterwards. So, yeah. Have a break.
Давайте. Еще на русском на всякий раз повторю, что в Орехе будет автопати.
Автопати в Орехе, Орех это где-то на Красноармейской, да? На Горького, один хрен, там 2 улицы параллельно. Короче, Орех это где всегда. Вот. Ехать придется на каком-нибудь такси, поэтому нам нужно знать, сколько народу едет, потому что нам нужно с этого народа собрать бабло за такси. Вы же понимаете.
Такси или автобус?
Ну, скорее всего, это будет такси-автобус, но...
Может быть несколько.
Ты звонила, не смотри.